Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at a problem that has to do with completing a table of a linear pattern and determining the information about that pattern, whether it's the rule and other related information. So let's go through this. This is coming from CPM's course 3, and this is chapter 4, closure. Okay. Specifically closure question number 4-79. So it says copy and complete the table for the linear pattern below. So here's the table. So now we got to complete the pattern. Well, to complete the pattern, we're going to want to know what the growth is, right? So you can, a couple of things. You can get right to determining what the rule is because it says we need to find the rule, or we can look to see if I have a consistent growth in my X, right? I'm going from 0 to 1 to 2, so it's consistent there. I can use, because they said it was linear, they said it's linear, so I know there's going to be a consistent growth from each point, right? From each y value, so from each output. So at 0, it's -2. So at 1, what do? It looks like I'm adding 5. To go from -2 to 3, I add 5. Is that the case from 3 to 8? Sure enough, it's add 5. So there's my growth, because I can see it's a consistent growth going. This is going by ones, 0, 1, 2. This is going by fives, up, adding 5. So therefore, if I know, then I'm also going up 1 here. So it's going to be a consistent growth. As long as I'm consistently climbing on the X, I would be consistently climbing on the Y with a linear pattern. So this is now 13. And then again, this would be 18. And then being the fact that I'm going up 5 each time, I would also then go down 5. So -2 minus 5 would be -7. Minus another 5, -12, minus another 5, -17. And lastly, minus another 5 would be -23. So that is what the table should look like based on my growth pattern. And given that the X's were in consecutive order and by ones. So let's talk then. So A says, what is the y-intercept? Well, y-intercept, remember, is that initial value, right? It's that figure 0. So right here, where the input is 0, or the X is 0 and the Y is -2, that's the y-intercept. So we write it like a point. Remember, points are always X comma Y, or coordinates are X comma Y. So the y-intercept, we would do the same thing, write it as a coordinate. So it's 0 comma -2. So that's the y-intercept. What is the pattern of growth? Well, the pattern of growth is what? Add 5, right? Add 5 each input. I mean, that's what the pattern is in terms of words. The growth is add 5 each input. Or some may just say +5 is that pattern of growth. Find the rule. Well, now that we know the y-intercept and we know the growth, right? The rule is based on y equals mx plus b, m being the growth and b being the y-intercept, right? So I can immediately translate, take my numbers. My growth is +5, so I'm going to say the rule is y is equal to 5x, +5, and then the y-intercept is -2. So I could either say plus -2, okay, or I can simplify that because plus negative is the same thing as minus. So we can actually say y is equal to 5x minus 2. So that would be your best answer for your rule. Okay? Now, part C says, if the output number y is 52, -52, what is the input number? So this is where they now want us to say, okay, if I have a -52 as my y is -52. What is the x? So I've got to go in reverse. So what I'm going to use the rule, put -52 in for the y. So -52 is equal to 5x minus 2. So I'm just substituting that -52 into the y. Now I solve for x. I want to figure out what that x is. So I'm using the inverse operations. Okay, I add 2 to get rid of this 2 on this side. Since I'm -2 in the rule, I'm adding 2 this direction. So now I have a -52 and plus 2 is -50. And then instead of multiplying by 5, now I do the reverse. I divide by 5. So that's going to tell me my x, right? So -50 divided by 5 is -10. So when y equals -52, what's true? X is equal to -10. So that's my answer. And that's my input if y was negative 52. Okay. All righty. There you go.